Hi, everybody. It's Amariah Ariel again, the chosen lioness of God, because I am the chosen one. I just decided to do a little vlogging today. I'm still laying down. It is, I believe, afternoon, but I just feel so tired today. It's nothing really any more wrong than usual. Yesterday I had a doctor's appointment, a prenatal checkup, and that went awesome. I heard my baby's heartbeat for the first time. So that was beautiful. I loved it. Of course, that goes to say that everything, the doctor's appointment went well. Other than they noticed my heart issues, my tachycardia, that they listened to my heartbeat and noticed that it beat off normal. She said that she noticed that it was affected by my breathing, that the irregularities occurred along with my breathing, because, well, she noticed it initially, and then she asked me to hold my breath. Her and the student that was she was training, they asked me to hold my breath while they both listened, and they said that it went more normal, not all the way normal, but it was more normal when I held my breath than when I breathed, which is odd. I never had a doctor to care enough to check that. So yeah. But I'm glad that she did do that, because that's more information that will help me to be able to care for myself better. But at the same time, it's more information for me to look into and research, because I don't really know what to do about the fact that my heart only beats closer to normal when I'm not breathing. That's kind of scary. But other than that, like I said, the doctor's appointment went awesome. They did an EKG. They didn't tell me what they saw on the EKG, which I probably should call and ask them. I think I'm going to do that, because I just realized they didn't tell me what they saw. But yeah, I'm just laying down. I had planned on doing some trading yesterday for the Bigger Better Challenge, but I had to get a ride to my doctor's appointment, and I didn't want to leave the house and get myself all exhausted and stuff before my ride came, and then have to catch my ride to my appointment, and I had to get back on my own, as well as go and get something to eat, which I did do. I got me a little bit healthy stuff. I got me some frozen mangoes. I did get me some kale, because they reiterated about my low iron levels. So they did look up and found some where I can get some gummy iron pills, because the regular iron pills I had to stop taking because it wasn't working well with my stomach. So I'm gonna have to look into that. But I got me some kale, which is high in iron content. The hummus that I got has iron, and I love hummus. The pita bread, the wraps, the tortilla wraps, I believe it, yes, it has iron as well. The guy at the store, because when I got to the store, as I was walking around, I started really not feeling well and feeling dizzy and lightheaded and just not good at all. So I had to sit down for a minute, and one of the store people that was stocking the shelves helped me out. They went and grabbed some items for me so that they helped me along with my shopping. And so they got me the frozen kale, and to help me get stuff within my budget. They got me the frozen kale, and they got me some fruit and grain bars that I normally wouldn't get, but it really, really did help me to be able to get myself back mobile. Because he told me to go ahead and open the box and eat one so that I could get better. Because I hadn't eaten before my appointment, and so I was trying to get something in my stomach, and I shouldn't have waited that long. I messed up because when I was leaving the doctor's office, I was thinking about, I saw a water fountain and I was going to fill my water bottle, but then I decided not to because I was thinking that maybe I would be able to get something better or colder while I was out, but that was not a good judgment on my end, because had I had some water, I probably could have helped myself a little better. Lesson learned. So I got me the fruit. I got the fruit bar since I opened the box. I bought that. As I said, I normally wouldn't have bought it, but it helped. And it's a good snack to have by me when I'm in bed. And I have the tortilla chips, as I said, the frozen mangoes, the frozen kale, the hummus, and I got me a few packs of noodles for emergency food source. And as I said again, now I'm just laying here because I just don't feel like I have a lot of energy today. I went to the bathroom earlier and I noticed a slight spotting, and it was very light, but at the same time it's a little worrying because any amount of blood right now is worrying, and that's the one thing they did. They kept asking me yesterday, have I had any bleeding? And I hadn't, even though I have had sharp pains down in my cervix area when I'm out walking about and stuff, but I hadn't had any bleeding, so I just listened to my body and rested when I felt like I needed to. But like I said this morning, I was moving around a lot yesterday, but I came home as soon as I could and just got into bed for the rest of the evening and night. And this morning, like I said, I went to the bathroom and I saw a little spotting. It was a little tinge of blood in my mixed in with the normal pregnancy discharge. And then as I kept wiping, I was just wiping it just to check to make sure that nothing else, that it didn't seem to be any worse. And I saw little, very, very small specks of clots or whatever. But it was a really small amount, so I'm trying not to overreact, because yesterday the baby had a heartbeat. Nothing seemed to be alarming. You could hear slight movements and stuff going on, like he or she was moving around. So I don't know. I hope everything's okay. I don't know if that may have something to do with why I just don't feel like getting up and doing anything today. I really want to progress more in this challenge, but I'm just not feeling it today. At least not right now. And now that I'm talking about it, it's like kind of emotional. I just didn't want to think about it. But positive thoughts, positive energy. Definitely positive energy. Yeah. But anyway, what's going on with me today. I didn't get an ultrasound. I wish they had done an ultrasound. But they didn't. So, and also, apparently, my doctor didn't tell me that yesterday was her last day there. So that they were going to have to switch me to a new doctor, which I don't like that she didn't tell me that, because I had to find out while I was making my appointment at the front desk that when they told me. So yeah, so they switched my doctor and scheduled me with another doctor who happens to be a man, a guy, which I don't like, because this is a very invasive situation. Like, this is something that's very much so a female situation, and I went in that situation, but a female what would I call it? What's the word? Experience. There we go. It's a female experience. And I can't say that most females, because today's a different society, but I'm not very big on having strange men all up in my private business and private areas. So yeah, that's not gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work at all. I've been through that before, and like I keep telling people, I remember with my other pregnancies, the thing I didn't like the most was that it seemed like every time I went to a doctor's appointment and every time I had to go to the hospital, there was a different guy they would send a different man in there to be all up in my private areas and, violating me. And it was very violating, and I just didn't like it. And I had to eventually just start telling them straight up, like, no, you just send a woman in here, because that's not going to work for me. So, yeah, that's not going to work. And that's a big part of the reason why. Here's the another announcement. Now I guess I can go ahead. This will be a opportune time to announce my birth plan. I shared it with my mom, and she was surprisingly supportive. My dad he just really didn't show any reaction. I'm sure he doesn't too well agree with it. Usually when he don't show a reaction, it's something he definitely don't agree with. But whatever. Either he's going to be there or he's not. But I'm planning on having a free birth. That is the plan. And if you don't know what a free birth is, just in case, for those of you who don't know what a free birth is, it is a unassisted birth, meaning that you don't have a doula, you don't have you can have a doula. You don't have a midwife. You don't have a doctor. There's no doctor delivering your baby. There's no midwife delivering your baby. There's no medically connected people, unless it's family, unless you just happen to have family that's medically connected, but it's more, they're there just as a support, and you're delivering your own baby. So it's like you're in control. Nobody's there to tell you, no, you have to be in this position. No, you have to do this and you have to do that, and you can't do this and you can't do that. You go with what your body naturally tells you to do, and that's what I need and want. That's what I really always have needed and wanted, but I had just never heard of an unassisted birth before. I had heard of midwives and doulas, but I didn't know too much about it, and I just assumed that it would be like very, very expensive, which it is kind of expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than what I thought it was. When I checked, the doula I talked to, she said she charged like $750, and that's for the whole pregnancy. That's for everything from beginning to end. And I didn't speak to the midwife yet, but the doula gave me some information on some midwives that will probably work with me. And and just in case some of y'all want to say something about my hairiness, y'all can go ahead and have y'all comments or whatever. I really don't care. I've accepted my body. I used to be very sensitive and self-conscious about stuff like that, but I don't care anymore. So y'all, any negative comments or opinion is not going to affect me, so y'all can save it. But anyway, so I spoke to the doula, and the doula did give me information about the midwife, and the midwife, she said that it would cost probably around $3,000, which is a lot less than if you've ever delivered a baby and gotten the bill, you know how ridiculously high just the delivery itself costs, let alone all of the doctor's visits you have to go to. So yeah, that's way, way, way cheaper than what I expected. Because that's from beginning to end. So it was just, but at the same time, like I said, $3,000 is still a lot of money. And I just personally feel like the birthing experience is such a natural thing. It's a natural part of life. So I personally, unless it's like an emergency situation, which labor is not it's not intended to be an emergency situation. But if it were like, if you don't trust yourself enough to deliver your own baby by yourself and alone, then you could opt to get a midwife, and it will be a lot cheaper than having your baby in the hospital. The main question that I get is about, well, why don't you just get Medicaid and WIC and all of that stuff? The reason I don't get WIC is because I'm transitioning vegan, and at this point I'm mostly vegan. And the only thing that's not vegan is every once in a while I eat fish. That's just every once in a while. And the fact that it's very difficult to find stuff that's not tainted with milk products and crap like that, and eggs. And I'm just not, I can't starve myself intentionally on the point of, because it has a little bit of milk product in it, when my body's able to still handle it a little bit. It may not be the best for me. It doesn't always feel completely good, but it feels a lot better than not eating at all. So yeah. And I'm sure it would be a lot more dangerous for me not to eat at all when I'm pregnant. So, or not to eat what I can when I'm pregnant. So, but other than that, I'm vegan. And so, back to the WIC, with the WIC, as the majority of you women know, you get like gallons and gallons of milk, which I don't drink. I don't even eat ice cream. I don't eat cheese unless it's like some in a snack or something, which is I avoid as much as I possibly can. And eggs, which I don't eat, and stuff like that. Just some of the things. The only thing that the doctor yesterday, they kept trying to emphasize, well, you can get fruits and vegetables, but a lot of it is like canned stuff or concentrated fruit concentrate juice, which is not like, it's, I don't drink that stuff. And you can get some fresh fruits, but it's not that much that you get on there. So it'll be a lot more that I will be wasting or giving away than what I will actually be benefiting from it. As far as the Medicaid, even if I were to get a midwife, for one, insurance and the cost is not the major reason why I'm not having my baby in the hospital. The major reason why I'm not having my baby in the hospital is because, as I stated earlier, it's just very violating and it's very against nature. And it's very, it's just not right. It's not right for somebody, for you to go through such a major experience and have or just random strangers just taking complete and total control over your experience and your body and your pain and your life and your baby's life from the very beginning of your baby's life into this world. And so I just don't agree with that. So even so, that would leave me with a midwife and a doula, and I just don't. The midwife and the doula don't even take the insurances. That's something that you would have to pay out of your pocket anyway, and so there's no point in me getting the Medicaid because, as I stated, I may not be going to the doctor throughout my pregnancy anyway. As a matter of fact, yesterday may have been my last day, depending on how soon I'm able to get the equipment that I would need to check my own baby's heartbeat, a fetal heart monitor, and blood pressure cuff to check my own blood pressure, and maybe a stethoscope. But my heart never beats normally, so I don't really know what I would be checking for per se for that, because it's not like I'm gonna ever hear a normal heartbeat from myself. So but the blood pressure cuff and the fetal heart monitor and stuff like that, just to make sure my baby still has a heartbeat, my baby's still moving around, so on and so forth. All of those things I can check for myself. And to eat healthy and to just take care of myself. So, yeah, there's no point in having all of the stress of the financial stress of that when I could be putting my money more towards getting me my bigger house that would be more fitting for me and my babies, and just better things that I could be putting my money towards for me and my family. And just not having to worry about going there and hearing them say, well, you don't have insurance, so you have to pay this much and you have to pay that much, and or even getting the insurance just for me to barely use it, just for like a very short period of time, and putting myself back into the government system. I'm not one of those women that's big on being dependent on the government. That's not natural. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it used to be. That's not how it was meant to be. And that's actually, in my honest opinion, that's a lack of faith. That's just my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own, but that's mine. So I have enough faith that I don't need to depend on a government assistance that I don't even really trust in. So that's it. That's what's been going on with me. That's my birthing plan. If y'all have any questions or any comments, whatever comments you may have, feel free to put them below. I will get notifications when you comment. I will check them out. I'm not going to say I'm going to respond to all of them, because some of them, depending on what it is, I don't know. If I feel like it's something that's, I don't want to say worth my response, because I don't want to put that negative energy out there, right? But I know that there's some energies in this world and some people in this world that just thrive on negativity and negative energy, but we're not going to give that attention. So other than that, I will respond to your comments. I will be notified. I know I have been notified before when I have gotten a comment on a video, so hopefully I'll be notified. If not, I'll do sometimes go through and just check just in case. And if I see your comments, I will respond. And also, again, I definitely appreciate anybody's support, and I appreciate you even watching the videos. I appreciate anybody who is subscribed to my channel, because again, I'm sharing a lot of very personal information about myself. I'm sharing a very personal view into my life, and that's a big deal, whether you realize it or not. So please go down and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I post new videos, so you can get updates on this pregnancy, on the Bigger Better Challenge, or anything that's going on in my life that I may post. So yeah, hit the notification bell, subscribe, like this video, let me know that you're interested in the content, and yeah, we'll keep going from there. I don't know what it feels like outside yet, but hopefully it's a beautiful day out. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. Stay up, stay love.